What's up, people? Clay here from Megadads. Welcome to VR Rundown. Here we go. Hey, what's up, VR fam? Welcome to Megadads VR Rundown, your monthly dose of virtual reality goodness. I'm Clay, your friendly neighborhood Megadad VR enthusiast, and this is Antonio, bringing you the latest and greatest in the world of VR.
On today's episode, we'll run down the VR news for the month of March, share what we're excited about in VR, and wrap up with a look at some newly released games. Feel free to jump around using the timestamps in the description below.
Tony, why don't you jump in and tell us about the very important VR news?
Meta has released the experimental pass-through camera API for Quest 3 and Quest 3S, enabling developers to access the headset's forward-facing color cameras. With access to the tool, developers can overlay digital content onto real-world environments in full color, enabling more interactive and realistic experiences. Basically, word on the street is that this will allow developers to create more immersive and mixed reality applications. So awesome, more tools for more cool things.
At GDC 2025, Meta's director of games, Chris Pruitt, announced that the company funded over 100 VR and mixed reality titles in 2024. With more than 200 currently in active production, Meta's CTO, Andrew Bosworth, emphasized their ongoing commitment, stating, "We are still investing massively in VR gaming and don't plan to stop." Additionally, Pruitt highlighted a 30% increase in monthly headset usage during 2024 and noted that over $2 billion has been spent on content for the Quest to date.
Meta's chief technology officer said that the company is discontinuing the Quest Move fitness tracking feature due to its limited user base. Despite a small but loyal crowd of users, they just can't justify the expense of maintaining the feature. Meta continuing to remove underutilized features, all points to them trying to remain more profitable in their VR and mixed reality projects. And that shouldn't come as a surprise. Did you know that since 2020, Meta's Reality Labs division has lost over $60 billion? In 2024 alone, the division reported a loss of $17.7 billion. That's a lot of lost investment.
Next up, we're going to talk about VR titles that we are excited about.
Yeah, so this month I reviewed Path of Fury Episode 1, Tetsuo's Tower. It's a kung fu game set in the seedy underworld, lots of dark shadow alleyways, and you're fighting your way through thugs, cops, and other enemies, and it's all about knocking out people as quickly as you can while not getting knocked out yourself. I enjoyed it. I mean, you're fighting and you feel like an action movie star, especially when you're fighting multiple people at once. The game makes you feel awesome when you're blocking as well, which was a standout highlight. The weakest part is the graphics. It kind of is reminiscent of N64 GoldenEye, where when you got up to characters, they were incredibly blocky and pixelated. But to be fair, when things are moving, that kind of like all goes to the background. The best feature is probably the low $9.99 price point, and I hope that they sell a lot of episode 1, so maybe they expand on some gameplay elements in later episodes of the game. So interesting, Path of Fury.
All right, for me, it was 2 games mostly that I played this month. The first one being Ash and Arrows, which I reviewed for the channel. The review should be coming out shortly or already out. It's a great little game. It's a tower defense archery game. So you're playing as this archery dude, stand up on fences, shooting down at bad guys, as they storm the gates and try to destroy everything. There's already quite a few tower defense games on the system. This one adds a really robust and pretty decent campaign, which I think this makes this a unique game, different from some of the others. Visually, it's a little basic. It's very polygonal. The surroundings look pretty good. The character models look a little rough. but thankfully you're shooting people at a distance, so you're not really looking at people up close too much, so it's not terrible. Once you get going in the game though, you get so drawn into it that you don't really notice it. I will say, I don't know if you've played a lot of archery games on VR, but it really does start making your arms burn after a while, and it really is a bit of a workout. But overall, I had a really good time with this game, and there's a lot they've added to it, a lot of Easter eggs, and bonus things you can do. So I recommend it. I think it's worth it overall. And yeah, they did a great job with it. So definitely check it out. The other game I played a lot this month is Skyrim VR. This is a game both me and Tony both bought during the Steam sale. And so I took the plunge. I've heard a lot of things about this game. And so I tried it in both vanilla with no mods. And then I went and added a bunch of mods just to see what it was capable of. Definitely improves the gameplay and visuals. They're much better. But you could honestly play it either way. You don't have to have the mods, but it really does make a big difference once you do. If you have PC VR, I would recommend checking this out. It's a long, expansive game. Most of us have probably already played it at this point, but VR adds a lot, and I'd recommend checking it out. So it's really cool. Fallout and Skyrim both play really great in VR, so definitely check them out. Hoping to get into play more next month. Now it's time to take a quick look at all the hot new VR games releasing this month.
Lovesick is a VR puzzler that sees you play as a burnt-out bassist in 1999 that finds themselves trapped in an alternate reality. You're tasked with finding your trapped bandmates across memory-filled diorama levels, while you have play mini-games with Guitar Hero-like rhythm and racing games as well. There's a super cool visual VR style to this that I think is going to work really well. The colors just pop. It looks so interesting.
On March 6th, we saw the release of Rogue Pinata's VR Armageddon. It's a colorful action game where sentient pinatas fight back. It supports 4 players with 6 themed levels ranging from suburban neighborhoods to deserts, and a Steam release following in the spring.
Sword Reverie is an anime-inspired adventure that sees you exploring a fantasy world. With a war between humans and elementals imminent, you play as a hero summoned by the Guardian Magnus to end this hostile army's threat. Accompanying you across this solo campaign is Stella, the daughter of the deceased last Guardian. I'm actually super excited for this one. It's the game that I think is most visually appealing, and I think that it looks pretty good as far as the combat in it too, so very excited.
On March 6th, we saw the release of Symphony, which blends conducting with spellcasting in a new mixed reality rhythm game focused on classical music with composers ranging from Beethoven to Tchaikovsky. This game uses colorful interactive landscapes that see your play space transform through mixed reality. Hand tracking controls are also supported.
Previously released on Steam last year, Stellar Planes is a sci-fi fantasy VR shooter that combines first-person shooter gameplay with aerial mech combat and large-scale battlefield exploration. Created by a solo developer, the upcoming Quest release promises a completely reworked and enhanced version 2.0, and a Steam update will also release on the same date with these changes.
March 13th also saw the release of Emerok, which is designed as an educational tool similar to Piano Vision, helping you learn how to play a guitar through mixed reality. Launching this month in early access, this promises over 100 different musical exercises, lessons, and songs. As someone who plays guitar, I'm a little skeptical that this can actually keep up, like actually read where your fingers are. So I'm a little skeptical, but I'd be curious to see if this actually works.
Mythic Realms is a mixed reality roguelike RPG where you gradually build your town and carry out expeditions across several biomes. You'll gather resources, unlock new facilities, and find new weapons. Looks fun.
On March 14th, PC VR got the release of Wet VR, which is a new puzzle sandbox strategy game where you manipulate terrain and guide water to rescue the rock spirits. It's currently free on Quest 3 and 3S for a limited time, and you can jump into the upcoming Steam versions through the free demo before its next month's launch.
Bug Skill is a mixed reality fly swatting game that uses hand tracking where you find your home is overrun by insects. The store description reads, "Train your reflexes and get ready for a workout. These flies have mapped out every corner of your space, and you've only got 30 seconds each round to hunt them down."
Swatting bugs is probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in VR.
Agreed.
March 20th, we saw the release of Hellsplit Arena. Hellsplit Arena from Deep Type Games is heading to Quest. This action horror slasher is set in a dark fantasy world around the late Middle Ages. You're tasked with defeating the undead across a full room scale VR experience.
Marking the third time we've seen IO Interactive adapting its famous franchise for VR, Hitman World of Assassination brings the entire trilogy to PSVR 2. The upcoming release includes support for dual wielding, room scale gameplay, new controls, and gameplay mechanics. It's arriving as a paid DLC for owners of the flat screen game. I'm super excited.
Train Sim World VR New York, released on March 27th. It adapts the realistic urban train simulation series for Quest. Set across New York State, you'll ride the Harlem Line, take on missions in career mode with online leaderboards, and explore each train station in journey mode. How cool is that?
I couldn't get over the fact that it includes licensed MTA, M3A, and M7A train cabs. Isn't that amazing?
No, it's not. It's literally not amazing. That's a wrap on this month's Megadad's VR Rundown. But now we want to hear from you. What are you most excited about in the world of VR right now? Drop a comment below and let's chat.
And make sure to check out our VR reviews of Ashen Arrows as well as Path of Fury on the Megadad's YouTube channel. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time in VR.